Stay safe.
Stay active.
And stay healthy.
Hi, Year 5 and 6. I'm Mr. Croucher from PASS, Physical Activity Sports Specialists, and today we are going to be doing a lesson on football. Okay, and our lesson objective today is to develop the skills of dribbling, control and passing. Okay, so we're going to look at 3 different parts, okay, in our lesson today and try and improve them aspects of football. But before we start, you will need some equipment. So you will need a ball. Okay, now if you're at home and you're doing this and you are not able to use a ball indoors, then just use a rolled up pair of socks. Okay, and that is all you will need for now. Later on in the lesson you may need some cones or markers or something that you can lay out on the floor. Again, socks are fine to use for that. Okay. Now, for our warm-up, you will just need whatever you're using as your ball. I'm going to show you first, and then I want you to have a go after. So, you will be standing up. Right, guys, so we're going to start with toe taps, okay, which is where we put our toes on top, alternate times, okay. You can do it slowly, or you can speed it up. If you're finding that nice and easy, you can start to move the ball around, okay. That is our first one that we're going to have a practice on. So pause the video to have a little practice at that one. Right guys, so our next one is going to be penguin feet, okay, which is using the inside of our feet to keep the ball going from side to side. Again, you can go a little bit faster or slow it down. Okay, again, you can move around to do this if you feel comfortable. Again, pause the video here and have a go at that one. Right guys, we're now going to do some ball rolls. So with the ball rolls, it's rolling your foot across the top of the ball. So your foot goes on top, rolls it. So it's just rolling that ball across. Good. So again, if you're struggling, do it slowly. If you're a little bit more confident, speed it up. And if you are very confident, can you move around and do it as well? So, pause the video here and give that one a go. And our last one is going to be some step overs. Now, I'm sure lots of you have done this before. So you're just going to step over and around the ball. So your foot is going around one way, then the other. Again, you can do it slow or you can speed it up. And if you're really confident, then you can start to move and do that as well. So knocking the ball forward, okay, then doing a couple, then moving the ball again. Pause the video here to have a go at that one. Right guys, you're not going to need the ball for this one, so we're just going to do some stretching before we start our lesson. So, I want you to stretch nice and high and then try and touch your toes and then come back up and try and touch your toes again. Good. We're going to go to the side. So bending over to the side, coming back up, bending over to the other side, coming back up. Going to do something called a hammer kick now. So we're going to put one hand out in front and our opposite foot is going to come and try and touch our hand. And then we change arms. Okay. So one hand goes out, then the other one comes towards it. This is what they call a dynamic stretch, which means we're moving and stretching at the same time. Good. Last one on each leg. Try and keep your hand out nice and straight and move your foot to it. This time we're going to do something called opening and closing the gate. So for opening the gate, you're going to put your knee up in front and then you're just going to pull it out to the side and down. Then the same with the other leg. Okay. So it's just opening up Good, one more on each side. And now we're going to close it. So this time we're going to start here and bring it to the front. Okay, so there, there. Good. One more on each side. And stop there. Shake the legs off. Good work. If you need to go and get a drink quickly, then go and grab one now and then come back once you've had one. Right guys, so now we're nice and warm, we are now going to do some dribbling, okay? So keeping hold of that ball nice and close to us. We're going to try and use both feet, okay? We're going to also try and use all the different parts of the foot that we can use, which is inside, outside, the top of our foot, here, not our toes, and the sole of our foot, so the bottom of our foot. Okay, they're the 4 things that we are going to do. You're going to be dribbling the ball around the area, and when your teacher or whoever's helping you says one of them parts of the foot, I then want you to use that. So as a quick demonstration, if I was dribbling around, okay, I can use whatever part of the foot until I say inside, then I can only use the inside of my feet to touch the ball. If I said outside, now I can only use the outside of my foot. If I said sole, then we can only use the sole of your foot, okay, and so on. So I'm going to let you get on with that one. If you've got a teacher, if you're in a school, your teachers are there, okay, then I'm sure one of them will call out the different parts for you. If not, if you're at home, if there's someone around that can give you the different parts of the foot to do, then that will be perfect. If you haven't got anyone around, okay, then that is fine. I just want you to practice all them different parts of the foot. So pause the video here and then come back once you're done. Right guys, so I hope you did really well with that, okay? So now we're going to move it on a little bit to make it a little bit more challenging for us. We're going to look at 3 different types of turn in football, okay? So this time you will dribble around the ball, and then when we say that turn, I want you to try and perform it. So the 3 turns that we are going to practice are what they call a drag back turn, okay? So a nice simple one, putting your foot on top of the ball and just rolling it back and then turning your body. So if I was going this way and then I was told to turn, foot on top of the ball, turn away and then travel in the other direction. Next one, okay, is going to be something called a Cruyff turn, a little bit harder. So this time, the ball, your non-kicking foot will go next to the ball, and then your other foot was going to come round the side and push the ball back with the inside of your foot. Then you're going to turn away, okay? So push the ball away, turn, and then turn back. Okay, so all of these are to turn back the way that we were going. So again, put foot there, using the inside of your foot, pull the ball back. And our last one is something that we did in this warm-up, okay, it's called a step over turn. So, you're going to push the ball out in front, you will step around the ball, so your legs are crossed, then release this leg and turn. Okay, so again, slowly step around the ball, so your legs are crossed, then release your back leg round and you can turn away. Okay, you can do it another way, so you can go around this way and then turn to go on the other foot. Okay, it's up to you which one you want to do. So I would like your teacher or whoever's helping you to then call out them different turns. So if I said a drag back turn, perform a drag back turn. If I said a Cruyff turn, I do a Cruyff turn. And again, if we said a step over turn, okay, we step over and we go the other way. So a little bit of a challenge to see who can do that. If you need to practice the turns first, then that is fine. Have a little practice first, then see if you can play the game with your teacher and whoever's helping you. So pause the video here and have a little practice of that one. Right guys, so you should now have done your turns, okay? Now, them turns are really good to practice, okay? The more that you practice them, the better they will get and the quicker you'll be able to do them. Which, if we are trying to be a footballer, is really important to be able to do them nice and quick to fool the defender into which way we are going, okay? So, what we're going to move on to now is we're going to look at a bit of passing. Okay, now when we pass the ball, there are two main parts of the foot that we use. Okay, the most used one is the inside of our foot because it is the nice flat surface on our foot, and it's also the biggest surface area. Okay, so when we do pass it, it can be nice and accurate and get to where we want it to go. And the other part is the outside of our foot. Okay. So we use the outside of our foot sometimes. Depends, if the ball's on the outside of our foot, then we can use that. Much harder to do, but we're going to have a little practice today. So, I would like you to stand up, and what you're going to do, you will need 2 cones. If you haven't got cones and you're at home, then use 2 pairs of socks or anything else that you can use that's not going to break. If you're at school and you've got partners, okay, that you can work in, that is fine. I'm going to show you how to do it without a partner. So, I will stand not too far apart, okay, and I will set my cones out here. Okay, so there's a gap in between. Now, the aim is to pass the ball through the gate, okay. If you've got a partner, every 10 passes through the gate, you will take a step back. If you're at home and working by yourself, okay, every pass that goes through the gate, you get a point. So if I pass it through using the inside first, pass it through and then it comes back, that's 1 point. Then I go again, 2 points. 3, if I get to 5, then I get to move the ball back 1 step, okay. Obviously, if you've not got much room, then we can't move back too far, okay. But the more that we practice this, the better we will get. If you're finding it really easy, can you use your other foot? Okay, so your weaker foot, the one that you don't normally use, and try it with that one. Okay, so I now want you to pause the video here and have a little practice at using the inside of your foot to pass the ball through. Right guys, so now we've done the inside of the foot, we're now going to look at the harder part, which is the outside of the foot. So the same rules apply, keeping that gate there, okay, so outside of the foot. So you're pushing the ball with the outside, okay, so pushing that ball outside the foot and it should come back to you if you've done it to a wall. Obviously if you're passing to someone else, then they need to be ready to receive the ball. Okay, now also in football, we need to call out that person's name. So if you are passing to someone, you will need to call, because communication in football is very key. If you don't call that person and they're not concentrating, ball's just going to go straight past. Okay, so make sure that if you are working with someone, that you are calling their name every time you pass the ball. So I want you to have a little practice with the outside of your foot now. Once you've had a practice, I want you then to set yourself a challenge, okay? So for 1 minute, you are going to see how many times you can get the ball through the gate. If you found that really easy, you may want to make the gate a bit smaller, okay, so the ball can only just fit through the middle. So then it's going to be a bit quicker, so you'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, okay. If it hits a cone or the socks or whatever you're using, it doesn't count, it must go straight through the middle, okay. So that is a little challenge for you to do after you practice using the outside of your foot. So pause the video here, then come back once you've had a go at that one. Right guys, so now what we're going to do is going to do something called square passing. Now this one is easier if you have a partner to work with, Okay, so you're just going to pass the ball around an object in a square. I will show you how to do that in a minute. If you haven't got a partner, you can still do it, and I'm going to show you how to, and then those that are working in pairs will be able to work it out from what I'm doing. So, you will start, you only need one marker for this one, so I'm using this marker here, okay, and obviously I'm going to use the wall as my partner. So, I will pass the ball this side of the marker. When it rebounds back to me, I'm going to roll the ball using the bottom of my foot over to this side and pass the ball with my left foot. When it comes back, roll the ball back over, okay? So I'm making half a square here, okay? Making sure that that ball is rolling from one side to the other, okay? Now, if you're using a partner, or if you've got a partner to use, you will pass it on one side. Your partner will then go across, and then the ball should come back to you on this side. So then you will turn. Okay, so every time you will receive it with one foot, roll it across, pass it back on the other side. If you've got a partner, the best thing to do is to swap directions so that you're using both feet, having a go at passing and controlling the ball. Okay, so I now want you to have a little go at that one. This one is a little bit harder, okay, because you need to think about what foot you need to use and where. Have a little practice, then come back once you've got. Right guys, we're now going to play a little game to end, okay? So, for our game, it's going to be something called a diamond game. Now, you may have played this in other sports as well. Okay, it's quite a good one to do for all sports across the board that involve passing. So, you will start in the middle. You will have a cone in each direction. So, I've got a pair of socks in each direction. I've got my ones at the front here. Okay, one's to the right, one at the back, and one to the left. Okay, obviously I've not got much room here, but if you've got more room, you can make them further away. What's going to happen is, I will be doing whatever I want to. For the warm-up, when we were doing toe taps, step overs, I can do whatever I would like while I'm in the middle. Once you hear a direction, so if I said forward, I need to pass the ball using the inside of my foot to the marker at the front. If I hit it, I get a point, okay? If you don't want to be doing any toe taps or anything, just stay on your toes, ready to go, okay? Because you need to be able to move in different directions a bit quicker. It's a bit of a competition, this one, so you can do it the quickest. So again, if I said left, okay, use my left foot to hit that one. Then I'm back in the middle, back of my feet. If I said behind, moving my body, passing it to the one behind, okay? So always being aware. If you've not got anything to rebound off of, obviously, when you pass the ball, you will have to go and get it, okay? So whatever you need to do to complete this drill. If you've got teachers, again, then that would make it much easier. They can call out the different directions for you to try and do. If you're at home and you've got someone that's helping you, again, if they can call out the different directions, that would be perfect. If you are by yourself, then don't worry, okay? I want you to just say it in your head, okay? So like I was doing there, I might say, right, okay, I'm going to go forward first, then go and get it, then left, so then you can just continue to practice. You know where you're going to go, but just practice the accuracy of your passing. So, pause the video here, have a little practice of that one, then come back once you're done. Right guys, we're going to make that game a little bit harder now, okay? So there's going to be more things to think about. So we're still going to keep our diamond, okay? And you're going to be in the middle. This time though, because we've done dribbling and passing and controlling the ball today, we're going to combine all of those together. So this time, if I said pass forward, okay? So if I said pass forward, that's what I'd have to do, then go and get the ball. If I say dribble left, okay, I have to dribble round the cone to the left, then come back to the middle as quickly as I can. Okay, then the back on my toes. If I said pass right, there it is, okay? So this time is going to be a couple more directions and commands that you need to be listening for. So you need to really listen to see what the next command is. I want you to have a little practice. This one is much harder and this is our last game. Okay, so take as long as you need on this one. So pause the video here, then come back once you've had a go. Right guys, really well done today. Okay, what we're going to do before we finish is a cool down. Okay, so for a cool down, we're going to make it into a little bit of a challenge as well. Because we've been looking at control, we are now going to look at doing some kind of keepy uppy challenge. Okay, so what's going to happen for the keepy uppy challenge is you will start by bouncing the ball, then doing one kick up and catching it. Okay, so let the ball bounce, do one, catch. Let the ball bounce, do one, catch. Then see if you can do two. So 1, 2. Right guys, really well done today. Okay, what we're going to do before we finish is a cool down. Okay, so for a cool down, we're going to make it into a little bit of a challenge as well. Because we've been looking at control, we are now going to look at doing some kind of keepy uppy challenge. Okay, so what's going to happen for the keepy uppy challenge is you will start by bouncing the ball, then doing one kick up and catching it. Okay, so let the ball bounce, do one, catch. Let the ball bounce, do one, catch. Then see if you can do two. So 1, 2, catch, and so on. If you're finding with the bounce easy, can you do it without? So 1, catch, 1, 2, catch, 1, 2, 3, catch, and so on. Okay, and see how far you can get with your keepy uppies. If you've got a pair of socks and you're working at home, I understand it's a little bit harder with the pair of socks. Okay, also if you are using a ball indoors, please be careful of other things. Make sure you've got a nice clear space and you're not going to break anything. Now if you notice when I did it, my kicks were not very hard. Okay, keeping the ball nice and close to my feet while the ball was travelling up into the air. Okay, so no big kicks. The smaller the better and the easier to control. So I want you to have a practice at that, then come back once you've done your keepy uppy challenge. Right guys, really well done today. You've worked really hard, okay, and I'm sure that you've learned quite a few bits or improved on quite a few bits of your football skills. We will see you next time for another lesson, okay? Stay safe, stay active and stay healthy. See you all later guys.